about quiz nights? Well, if you haven't, no worries. Today we have with us a quiz. Hi and welcome to What's New in Goa, where we feature upcoming ideas, innovation and people that take Goa to the world. Today we have with us a Quizmaster, Alroy Fernandes, who's going to give us an insight of what Quiz Nights is all about. Hi Alroy.
Hi Roxanne. Quiz nights in Goa have been around for a while. It's just that it's not been as popular as it has been right now. It's been a while, in fact, during the pandemic. Just before the pandemic started, in fact, we're planning on doing this as well, because what I noticed was that in Goa, entertainment has usually been about music. So it's either live music or karaoke, which is always the source of events. So I wanted to do it just before the pandemic started. However, the pandemic changed lives for everyone, right? So entertainment took a big hit, and restaurants and pubs definitely were not open to having people coming in, right? So it has been a challenge since then to restart the idea, and the challenge has been fruitful, I would say.
Okay, so Alroy, could you tell us how did you come up with this idea of Quiz Nights? How did this all start?
So quiz nights have been around for a long time, right? It's been a concept that's been happening in other states as well as in other parts of the world, and it has been a thing in Goa as well. There have been quiz events which have been organized in schools. You also have some private quiz clubs which have been organizing it. But in terms of pub quiz nights or restaurant quiz nights, there were a couple of people who were doing it, and of course, as I said, the pandemic changed things up. People stopped, and then nobody really resumed it. So the idea was always there, and I have been a host for the past decade or so. I've been working with radio, I have been working in the event industry, so hosting has, like, being in front of people has never been the problem. So I thought I could probably bridge a gap between entertainment as well as getting a different form of entertainment for people. So quiz nights was an easy idea to dive into, because it made it possible for me to bring in my experience from hosting and interacting with people, to also trying to get them to use their grey cells a little bit more. So that has been the idea for quiz nights, and over the past few months, because it's been a while now, it has definitely grown from just something very small to now a concept which other people are also looking at as a very viable option for entertainment.
So Alroy, we've heard that you have a lot of themes for your quiz nights, like the Bollywood theme night, the quiz, and Harry Potter theme. So what is the idea behind all these things?
Okay, so when I started quiz nights, it was the idea of quiz nights. So people started coming in for it, and they were excited for it. They were happy to be part of it. And then, as all things go, after the period of time, they want something different. So we decided to come up with something a little more creative. So I thought, okay, what is happening? So when the Football World Cup was on, we did a football themed quiz night. When Halloween was around, we did a spooky themed quiz night. When Christmas was around, we did a Christmas themed quiz night. And the concept was that you would target a certain type of audience which would normally not be okay with coming for a quiz. So a lot of people have this apprehension that, oh, it's a quiz, it probably is it's something that only the nerds or the smart kids will go for, or the smart people will probably attend.
I have a question on that.
Yeah. So the problem has been that we want to target people who are excited about a certain topic. So Harry Potter was a topic which I grew up with. It was something that a lot of kids have grown up with, and the movies and the books have been so famous. Like, you don't need to only be reading the books, you can also watch the movie and you have an idea. So Harry Potter has been a concept which has been present for so many kids. And touching upon that concept, I thought, okay, if I can get people who love Harry Potter, then they probably won't be so scared about other topics. They know it's only Harry Potter, so they're not worried, oh, whether my GK skills will be tested or whether I know something which is probably out of syllabus, as they say. So it was easier to bring those people in, and once they came and experienced it, then it was easy for them to say, hey, you know what, this is not as difficult as we thought. So as much as the idea was to touch upon a new audience, it was also to bring people who were a little afraid of coming in for quiz nights to say, hey, you know what, this is something that you can also take part in.
So can you tell us like what kind of groups, what kind of people that come in for quiz nights?
So I think the biggest challenge that I've faced for quiz nights, especially with the Goan audience, is many people saying, hey, you know what, we're not that smart, we can't really come for a quiz because we'll do really, really badly and it will just look bad amongst to everyone else. And I've always tried to tell people, look, you know what, the quiz is divided into a couple of rounds. It's not just one round of only general knowledge. So you'll have one round which could be general knowledge, and you'll have other rounds which include movies, music, you know, television shows, like chocolates and different things that, you know, you can be quizzed upon. So you don't necessarily have to say, oh, you know what, it's only for the smart kids, it's only for people who are the nerds or the smart, the extremely smart and, like, you know, the high scoring students, because it's absolutely not about that. In fact, for most of my quiz nights, I have a varied group of people that come in. I have youngsters who come in who are very excited, like college going kids who are excited to try something new, and I also have the older adults who want to, you know, compete with the younger ones. And the good part is that when it comes to the quiz, I at least try to have a broad spectrum of questions, not just in terms of the topics, but also in terms of the eras, like the years. Okay. So you'll have questions from the 60s, maybe from the 70s, perhaps 80s, 90s, 2000s, and so on. So that it's challenging for all age groups, and it also makes you think, okay, this is not my age group, perhaps it's someone else. It also gets you to get people who are from a different background to you. So it is a challenge, but in a good way.
Okay, that's fun. So if someone wants to participate for the quiz nights, how do they go out? How do they jump on board?
Alright, so it's actually quite simple. I've started an Instagram page which is called the InQuizItors, because that's the name of the whole quizzing company, because the Spanish inquisitors were the ones who would always ask questions of the people. So I thought I'd go with that as the theme for the name. So the name of the company that I've actually created for quiz nights is called the InQuizItors. Okay. And if someone is interested in finding out what the quiz is all about, they just have to follow us on Instagram. I've also created a WhatsApp group for people wherein they can be part of the WhatsApp group in case, you know, if Instagram is something that they're not very savvy with, or if they're not so active on, then, you know, we have a WhatsApp group which is a single line of communication. Basically, it's just me putting out about where the next quiz is happening. And it's been growing so much so that I have also actually now added a second Quizmaster, a friend of mine, Lyndon, who has been a quizzer. He's also been part of the quiz nights as I've grown, and I asked him if he would be interested in joining, and so he's just come on board, and he has also added a whole new element to quiz nights, wherein we've also started incorporating puzzles and logic-based questions. So it's not only about someone's IQ or it's someone's recall ability. Now you're also having things wherein you can, you're working together in a team, you're solving a puzzle, you're solving maybe a crossword, you're solving a riddle. So there is communal activity, or there's community-based activity for people to come together, and that is also what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to build a community as well, because we've had a lot of people, in fact, with relation to the question of how people can come in. A lot of people don't have partners, or they don't have a team, and they're like, hey, you know what, we would love to come, but nobody likes going for an event alone, right? It's absolutely scary, and it's a scary thought to go alone. So what we did have as well, in part of the theme nights of the quiz, we had a quiz which was only meant for singles, if you're coming alone for the quiz, or if you're coming with a partner, not more than 2 people. So at that quiz, we got people to start interacting and talking to each other and forming bonds of friendship, which would mean that when we do have a regular quiz elsewhere, that they can team up with the friends they've made and come for a quiz. That like-minded individuals can come for a quiz together and have a stronger team. And of course, there's lots of prizes to be won for quiz nights, which people can take away. So definitely, it's exciting in terms of you have a good experience and you can take back something home and besides, bragging rights are always taken as well.
So now, could you give us one memorable moment of yours from your quiz nights? Like, is it always been in your head, or are you going to take it down? Like, it's always you
Okay, I
always
have to
remember
think back
it.
and go back into memory lane for this, but I think something that really sticks out for quiz nights is there's usually for a quiz night we have a music round, and I will play some music for the audience, and they need to figure out something. Either they need to name the song or the artist or something about the song which they need to figure out. And at one point of time, I was playing the song. I just played for like about 30 seconds or so. So you have a little bit of suspense. But I was playing a song and I actually stopped at 30 seconds, and the rest of the audience who was there, they just kept singing along, and it was something that I had never experienced. They just sang the whole song. At that point, nobody cared whether it was a question for scoring points. They were just in the moment. They were happy, and ultimately that is what I want. I want people to come out for a quiz, have fun. I mean, winning is secondary. For me, it is not for a lot of people because they want to win and they come to win, and that's perfectly fine. But for me, winning is secondary. Having a good experience, having a fun experience, which is slightly different from what you would normally expect. It also gives people who are not used to going out, maybe going out late nights, because quiz nights get over by around 10:30 or so. So if you have work the next day, it's easier for you to get home and get a good night's sleep, so you can go back to work. But yeah, that's something that I will always take back, is the fact that people who enjoyed it so much just broke out in song and started singing. It's happened a couple of times, so I think hearing them sing, hearing the joy is a good sign that we're going in the right direction.
Do you remember the song by any chance?
I don't remember the exact. Wait, it was actually a Maroon 5 song. I'm not entirely sure what the name was, but it was a Maroon 5 song. Okay. I think it was Daylight, when everyone started singing. The name of the song was Daylight, so everyone started singing along, and I was very shocked. I was actually quite stunned because I thought people would be like, oh, they may get the name of the song, but everyone was singing, and then I was like, okay, let me just play the whole song instead of just stopping it. And it was, and the rest of the quiz was then just a fun experience. So yeah, I think people need to come once and experience a quiz. And now I can also say that when I first started, I was just doing this in one place in Goa, but now I've been able to expand and do it at multiple spots in Goa, even in the south of Goa. So we are expanding, which is why I had another Quizmaster on board as well, so that we can, split up responsibilities and work that way. But we are now expanding to different parts of Goa. So we are in the north, we're in central Goa, as well as in south Goa. So if people from any part of Goa would like to experience this, I would urge them to at least come and experience it once, and if they're not happy with it, that's fair. But I'm pretty sure everyone that has come once for the quiz has always come back. So yeah, I think it would be really fun if people experience it at least once.
Thank you so much, Alroy, for being with us on What's New in Goa.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Well, if you enjoyed this episode of What's New in Goa, stay tuned for more.